Hey kids, it's Alex.
And I'm John, and today is Wednesday, April 21st at Webster City Middle School.
So John, how's your spring going so far?
Pretty good. It's been a lot better since we don't have to go until 4 o'clock anymore. How's your spring been going?
Well, since I heard about you planting flowers in your garden patch with Miss Brock, it's been a lot better.
That was a secret. I was going to give those flowers to Mrs. Brock.
Oops. Oh well. Looks like you'll have to think of another idea. Let's just go down to the 5th graders.
Hi, this is Grace, and this is a special report on nothing other than the Special Olympics. 14 students competed in the events track and field, where they did a 50-meter dash and a 100-meter dash. They also did a standing long jump, a softball throw, and a 4x10 relay. Students who got first place ribbons got to move on to state competition in Ames on May 21st. Here are some pictures of these really very special Olympics. The winning relay students are Randy, Gunnar, Ryan, and Brandon. Others going to state are Kiston, Alex, Gunnar, and Randy for other events. These students are all very lucky, and I wish to someday have a chance like they have. Now back to the anchors.
Those kids did great.
Yeah, they did.
They were awesome. Let's go to the 6th graders for Check It Out.
Have you been waiting for a good book? Well, it's Cassidy here with this week's Check It Out. Have you ever heard of the Secret series by Pseudonymous Bosch? There are 3 books. The first one is The Name of This Book is Secret. Second one is If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. And the third book is This Book Is Not Good for You. They are about 2 kids, Cass and Max Ernest, who want to be secret spies and work with the Tercy Society, if that is even a real thing. They come up against Dr. L and Miss Mauve, who work at the Midnight Sun. Cass and Max Ernest need to find a homunculus, or a person that grows out of a bottle, by just using the sound prism. To find out what happens, you will need to read the books. So with this nice weather, get a good book and find a shady tree and read. Now to Colton.
Hey, Colton here, and if you've been wondering what we've been doing on these computers back here, well, wonder no longer. It's called computer programming. You can make a program in graphics, which is pictures, or in text, which is a word program. Programming in graphics uses a 0 to 39 grid with 15 different colors. You can create pictures that are still, or you can even make them an animation. Here are a few. Computer programming sure is fun. Now back to the anchors.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That is like my favorite book of all time and ever altogether.
Where are you going? It's your turn to introduce the next segment.
Shh, I'm reading.
Okay, well, Alex reads that book. We're going to go to the 7th grade. For those curious people out there, are you trying to find out how something works but you can't find anything on the internet? Well, I know what will bring you a new site to see how stuff works. This site was on TV to let people know where to go if they have questions of how something works, or what if something was like this, or etc. This site to see is very useful, and there's endless amounts of questions to search even after spending hours on the computer. Here is how to work the site. Well, once you get to the beginning, there will be like featured articles, and they'll be such as auto fine tuning or organic food. Then you can click on it. If you scroll down, you can find videos that you can search, and usually that could be for wondering if there will be a demonstration, or like how it's made or how it works, or anything similar. Well, one time I was on the PlayStation 2 wondering how it works. So one time I was looking at how the controller works, and they actually give you this demonstration. So there is actually sometimes when you go to one of these searches, then you will be seeing demonstrations. Like you can just put your cursor on and move it around and see the numbers that are causing this to work as you're doing the PlayStation, which is the analog stick. Now, but what if you're wanting to see a video? Well, we looked at how the alpine skis work. And it comes out to how it's made from the Science Channel, which you can see on TV. Let's play.
In the past century, downhill skis have become shorter and curvier.
Now you know where to go to find more information.
They start with this pointed-off
At this site to see, howstuffworks.com.
several planks.
I'm glad to bring this to an end. Thank you. Now here's Cal with more Sound Grade News.
For the core of a ski.
Hey WCMS, Cal here with a report on poetry. In 7th grade, we are currently working on our poetry packets, like these. We write poems like recipes, where you tell about the perfect recipe for a friend or any other thing you can think of. I am poems, where you write about the kind of person you are. He said, she saids, where you talk about the perfect day in a boy's mind or a girl's mind. Skinny minis. In skinny minis, there are only 2 words in about 20 lines, and they are using 2-word phrases from something like baseball. Place poems are where you use a place as an acronym and describe it in those letters. My favorite to do was the skinny mini, and now back to the anchors.
Those poems are pretty sweet.
John, did you know I'm a poet myself?
Well,
Do you want to hear one?
I guess.
I like to go to tag, that I do adore. Every day I go, I yell j'adore. Another passion of mine is flying with Mrs. Brock. I love to do it because she has a big heart.
That didn't really rhyme, but it was a good poem.
Who cares?
Hi, Madeline here to talk about a horrible time in history, the Holocaust. This was a serious time full of death and despair. Hitler and his Nazi party were dictating Germany in about 1933, and things got a little out of hand. He blamed the Jewish people for the troubles the country was undergoing. He took them to separate places and towns and took away their basic rights. Some were taken to concentration camps where they were worked and starved to death. Some were sent to death camps where they were gassed and put in crematoriums and burnt to death. In all, about 11 million people died, 6 million Jewish, 1.5 million children. To remember these children, a museum in Houston has created an exhibit full of butterflies made by children. The 8th graders are participating and have some wonderful creations here all around me. Most have symbolism of the Holocaust victims. They will be shipped to Houston to put in the exhibit, and in 2013 they are going to be released to remember the mass numbers of people killed in the years 1933 to 1945. The Hitler homicide, the Holocaust.
How about that ride in? Hey, it's Taylor, and I'm here with the most brilliant, best teacher ever, the one and only Christy Manson. Mrs. Manson is our 8th grade teacher who teaches pre-algebra, algebra 1, and science. I'm going to ask her some commonly wondered questions by the 8th grade class. So, Mrs. Manson, if you could describe the 8th grade class in one word, what would it be?
I would say interesting. There is never a dull moment with you folks.
Well, that's a nice way of putting it, even though it's a little bit of an understatement. So, are you married?
Yes, I am.
And do you and Mr. Manson have any kids?
Yes, we have one son, Braden. He's 17 months old.
Well, he must keep you busy. And hey, Mrs. Manson, since you're a science teacher, do you want to explain to our From the Middle viewers on how this baby came to be? And get your mind out of the gutter, guys, because I was talking about the genetics chapter we are learning in science class.
Yeah, we're talking about dominant and recessive traits in genes right now, and we're talking about units of heredity that you carry on from your parents, and also the process of meiosis.
It's some fun stuff right there. Moving on to another question, what is going to be something you will remember about this school year for a long time?
I will remember some of the challenging events we've had happen this year, and as a class, how well you have done with those big challenging events like 80 for Haiti and some of the things that you've done for Mrs. Hacker-Kluver.
Well, thanks, Mrs. Manson, for answering a few questions, and now back to the anchors.
Those butterflies are pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're for a great cause as well.
Well, this has been one great show.
Yeah, it has.
Well, that's all for now.
From the middle.